In the world of artificial intelligence, most headlines focus on big names like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, or Anthropic. But quietly and consistently, a different kind of powerhouse has been reshaping how developers, researchers, and companies access and build AI models. That company is Hugging Face, an open collaborative hub often called the GitHub of AI. Hugging Face began as a chatbot startup, founded in 2016 by Clément Delongue, Julien Chaumond, and Thomas Wolfe. The company originally focused on building fun, conversational AI for teenagers. But as the team built their tools, they encountered a problem. There wasn't a centralized, open-source ecosystem where AI models could be shared, improved, and deployed. So they built one. In 2018, Hugging Face released their first version of the Transformers library, a game-changing open-source project that allowed developers to access pre-trained Transformer models like BERT, GPT-2, Robert A, and more, with just a few lines of code. What GitHub had done for software version control, Hugging Face was now doing for machine learning models, making collaboration, transparency, and sharing the norm. Today, the Hugging Face Model Hub is home to over 500,000 AI models, spanning tasks from text, classification, and translation to image segmentation and audio generation. Anyone, from PhD researchers to weekend hobbyists, can upload a model, test others, or fork existing projects to fine-tune them for specific needs. That openness is what makes Hugging Face so powerful. At its core, Hugging Face believes that AI should be accessible. Instead of guarding models behind paywalls or closed APIs, they offer tools and hosting that encourage experimentation. Want to build a chatbot using Llama or Mistral? There's a model for that. Need a sentiment analysis pipeline for a niche language? Chances are, someone in the community has uploaded one, or you can train your own and share it back. This open source approach doesn't just speed up innovation, it levels the playing field. A developer in Nairobi or a student in Jakarta can build with the same tools as a Silicon Valley engineer. That kind of global empowerment is rare in the tech world, and it's one reason Hugging Face has earned such widespread respect. Beyond just hosting models, Hugging Face also provides key infrastructure. Their datasets library offers access to thousands of public datasets, pre-processed and ready to use. Their Spaces feature allows users to deploy models as interactive apps using Gradio or Streamlit. No DevOps experience required. And their Evaluate module helps standardize how model performance is assessed. But perhaps the most impactful part of Hugging Face is the culture it promotes. Instead of secrecy and competition, it encourages transparency and collaboration. Companies like Meta, Google, and Stability AI have all partnered with Hugging Face to host open models. Government agencies, non-profits, and universities use it to share reproducible AI research, and users across the globe contribute to conversations, improvements, and bug fixes daily. In an industry where many are chasing profits through proprietary tools, Hugging Face has taken a different path, one rooted in community and contribution. And that's not just good ethics, it's good strategy. By becoming the de facto home for open models, Hugging Face sits at the intersection of nearly every major AI breakthrough. Consider the rise of Bloom, a large language model developed by Big Science, a year-long open collaborative research project hosted on Hugging Face. More than 1,000 researchers around the world came together to build an open alternative to GPT-3. They shared every step, from dataset curation to training protocols to ethical guidelines. Bloom wasn't just a model, it was a movement. And it was only possible because Hugging Face provided the infrastructure, ethos, and platform to make it happen. Then there's the recent shift toward open weights in generative AI. As companies like OpenAI restrict access to newer models, developers have turned to Hugging Face to find powerful alternatives. Mistral, Falcon, and OpenLlama among them. Each one made freely available through Hugging Face, allowing the wider ecosystem to continue advancing even as some doors close. Startups, researchers, and enterprises are now using Hugging Face as their foundation. Healthcare companies are fine-tuning language models on clinical data to extract symptoms from doctor notes. Legal tech startups are analyzing contracts in multiple languages. Content creators are experimenting with AI voice cloning and video generation, all using models hosted on Hugging Face. And while Hugging Face has grown, it hasn't abandoned its principles. In 2022, the company raised $100 million at a $2 billion valuation, but they continue to invest heavily in open research. Their work on model interpretability, ethical AI, and green computing reflects a vision of AI that isn't just powerful, but responsible. They've also become a kind of ethical compass in AI debates. When questions arise about bias, safety, or environmental cost, Hugging Face doesn't stay silent. They publish tools to audit model behavior, they fund research into responsible dataset collection, and they host discussions on how the AI community can do better, not just faster. Importantly, they've lowered the barrier for getting started. A beginner with no ML experience can visit the Hugging Face website, find a pre-trained model, copy a few lines of Python, and have a working app in minutes. That's the magic. They've taken the complexity of machine learning and made it approachable without dumbing it down. For educators, Hugging Face is becoming an invaluable tool. Instructors use it to teach NLP concepts, run live demos, and assign projects. For governments and NGOs, it's a platform for sharing multilingual models that serve public good. And for tech companies, it's a shortcut to innovation. Why train from scratch when you can fine-tune and deploy within hours? The GitHub comparison isn't just metaphorical. Hugging Face embraces many of the same principles: version control, community pull requests, collaborative improvements, and open documentation. But it adds something new: a living, evolving model ecosystem built not on code alone, but on intelligence, ethics, and openness. What makes Hugging Face truly unique is that it isn't trying to dominate the AI world, it's trying to connect it. In a landscape fragmented by closed systems, private APIs, and siloed innovation, Hugging Face offers a shared space. A place where research is reproducible, tools are interoperable, and knowledge is communal. As open source AI continues to gain momentum, Hugging Face stands as its beating heart. The platform is more than a repository. It's a culture, a community, and a catalyst. It reminds us that AI doesn't have to be mysterious or elite. It can be inclusive, transparent, and even joyful. Looking forward, the role of Hugging Face will only expand. With increasing pressure for transparency in AI, governments and institutions will need open platforms to evaluate and deploy safe systems. Developers will seek faster ways to build AI features into their products, and educators will demand reliable tools to teach the next generation of AI practitioners. In many ways, Hugging Face has already redefined what it means to build in AI, not behind closed doors, but out in the open. Not for a few, but for all. It's a reminder that technology at its best is not just about code or computation, but about connection. So next time someone asks, what is Hugging Face? You might say it's the GitHub of AI, but more than that, it's a vision of what the AI world could be when it's built together. Open, ethical, and powered by everyone. Even large enterprises are beginning to recognize the strategic advantage of building on top of Hugging Face. With integrations into platforms like Amazon SageMaker, Azure, and Google Cloud, the ecosystem now supports production-grade deployment at scale. That means companies can move from experimentation to real-world impact in days, not months. There's also the democratization of access to cutting-edge research. When Meta releases a new vision language model, or when Stability AI fine-tunes a diffusion model, the first place it's often hosted is Hugging Face. That immediacy of availability means smaller labs and independent developers can stay on the frontier without needing massive resources. And behind all this is a vibrant, active community. Every day, developers ask questions, share discoveries, improve documentation, and report bugs. Unlike walled-off corporate labs, Hugging Face is alive with contribution and conversation. That constant feedback loop accelerates progress in ways no single company could replicate alone. In the future, as AI becomes a default part of every industry, from education and agriculture to finance and art, Hugging Face will likely be one of the bridges that made it possible. Quietly, collaboratively, and consistently, it has built the infrastructure for an AI future that belongs to everyone.